Hello everyone, welcome Lead School at Home. We have started sixth chapter in geography of unit 4, that is manufacturing industries. In that we have studied introduction, then importance of manufacturing, then contribution of industry to national economy, then industrial location and classification of industries. In that we have studied types of industries as per their classification on different criteria. Then we have studied about agro-based industries, then textile industries and cotton industries in India. Now we will move further. We will start with the map. Here it is a map of distribution of cotton, woolen and silk industries. It is on page number 69. Please student, while watching this video, be ready with your pen, pencil and notebook and put your textbook in front of you. Now we will start with the cotton textiles here with the black dot shown in index. Now we will start from south of India, here in Tamil Nadu, the state of cotton textiles, Madurai, Coimbatore and Chennai. Now we will move towards north side in a west part of India. We will see here in Maharashtra, Pune, Mumbai, Aurangabad, then Jalgaon, then Wardha. In Gujarat, here Porbandar, Rajkot, Ahmedabad, then Vadodara, then Surat. In Madhya Pradesh, Indore, Dewas, Ujjain, then here in east side in Pachim Bengal, Murshidabad, Harora, Hooghly. Then here in Uttar Pradesh, in Agra, Muradabad, Kanpur. These are states where produce cotton, here in cotton textile industries. Now we will move further the next industries, that is woolen textile industries. Now we will overview where are the woolen textiles industries in India. Now we will start again with south. First here it is in orange color with the cross square. We see woolen textiles in the Karnataka district in Bangalore. Then we will move towards west of India. In west of India, in Maharashtra, Mumbai. Then in Gujarat, Jamnagar, Ahmedabad. Then again we see in the north side of India, here in Madhya Pradesh, Gwalior, then in Rajasthan, Jaipur, Bikaner, then in Haryana, Panipat and Gurugram, then in Punjab, Ludhiana, Amritsar, in Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar, then in Uttar Pradesh, Agra, Shahjahanpur, Kanpur and Mirzapur. Then no, these are the states have a woolen textile industries. Now we will move towards the next industry, that is the silk textiles. Here in center of a circle, black dot is there, just we see in index. Now we will see where are silk textiles industries in India. We will start again from south. In south, we will see in here Karnataka, in Mysuru, then Bengaluru, and Kolar. Here, Belgavi. It is in Karnataka. Now, we will move towards south. Sorry, in west, no silk textile industry in west. Now we will see here in south, in Pachim Bengal, Bankura and Murshidabad. Here have a silk textile industries, and here we see directly in Jammu and Kashmir, in Baramulla, Srinagar and Anantnag. In these states have a silk textile industries. Please student, draw this map on your map paper and send it on our WhatsApp group. Now we will move towards next part in this chapter. This page, one question is there: why is it important for our country to keep the mill sector loomage lower than power loom and handloom? Now we will see the answer. India exports yarn to Japan. India is exporting yarn to Japan. Other importers of cotton goods from India are USA, UK, Russia, France, East European countries, Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and African countries. Means these are the importers of cotton goods from India. Now we will move towards on next page. Here on the page we will see India has the second largest installed capacity of spindles in the world. Means India is the second largest installed capacity of spindles with 43.13 million spindles in the year 2011-12 after China. Means China is the first. Since the mid 80s, the spinning sector has received a lot of attention. Means in the mid 80s, the spinning sector has received lot of attentions. Means lot of innovation has happened. Now we will move towards on next paragraph. We have a large share in the world trade of cotton yarn, accounting for 1/4 of the total trade, and India has a large share in the world trade of cotton yarn. It is near about 1/4 of the total trade. However, our trade is garments is only 4% of the world's total, and our trade in garment is only 4% of the world's total percentage. Our spinning mills are competitive at the global level and capable of using all the fibers we produce. Here, our spinning mills are competitive at the global level and also capable of using all the fibers we produce. The weaving, knitting and processing units cannot use much of the high quality yarn that is produced in the country. There are some large and modern factories in these segments, but most of the production is in fragmented small units which cater to the local market. Now here, weaving, knitting and processing units cannot use much of the high quality yarn that is produced in the country. There are some large and modern factories in these segments, but most of the production is in fragmented in small units which cater to the local market. This mismatch is a major drawback for the industry. As a result, many of our spinners export cotton yarn while apparel, garment manufacturers have to import fabric, and that is a result. Means because of that result, many of our spinners export cotton yarn, while apparel means garment manufacturers have to import fabric. Now, here one information has given, just we read that information. The information is suppose that yarn is sold at rupees 85 per kg. Means if we sold that yarn at the rupees 85 per kg, if it is sold as a trouser, it fetches rupees 800 per kg. But if we sold as a trouser, it fetches for rupees 800 per kg. Value is added at every stage, from fiber to yarn to fabric and to garment. See the difference. Now one question is there. The question is, why is it important for us to improve our weaving sector instead of exporting yarn in large quantities? Now we will see the answer. Although we have made significant increase in the production of good quality long staple cotton, that is a 301.5 lakh bales of 170 kg each during in the year 2015 to 16. The need to import is still felt. Now we have made significant increase in the production of good quality long staple cotton, that is 301.5 lakhs bales of 170 kg each in the year 2015 to 16, and the need to import is still felt. Power supply is erratic and machinery needs to be upgraded in the weaving and processing sector in particular. Other problems are the low output of labor and stiff competition with the synthetic fiber industry. And next problem is we have very low output of labors and very stiff competition, means globalization is there with the synthetic fiber industry. Now we will move towards the next title, that is jute textiles. India is the largest producer of raw jute and jute goods and stands at second place as an exporter after Bangladesh. Means Bangladesh is the first largest producer in the world. After that, India is the second largest producer of raw jute and jute goods, and that's why we are in second. There were about 80 jute mills in India in the year 2010-11. Most of these are located in West Bengal, mainly along the banks of the Hooghly river in a narrow belt that is 98 km long and 3 km in wide. Now here one information was given. The first jute mill was set up near Kolkata in 1855 at Rishra. After partition in 1947, the jute mills remain in India, but 3/4 of the jute producing area went to Bangladesh. Means in the year 1947, partition has happened in between Bangladesh and India. Means two countries established on that time, and the jute mills remain in India, but 3/4 of the jute mills producing areas went to the Bangladesh. Now here, factors responsible for their location in the Hooghly basin are proximity of the jute producing areas, The factors responsible for their location in the Hooghly Basin are means their weather, their climate is helpful for jute textiles, means for jute, raw jute in that country. Proximity of the jute producing areas, then inexpensive water transport supported by a good network of railways, roadways and waterways to facilitate movement of raw material to the mills, abundant water for processing raw jute, cheap labor from West Bengal and adjoining state of Bihar, Odisha and Uttar Pradesh. And it is also helpful for water transportation is there, then also transported by good network of three ways, that is railways, roadways and waterways to facilitate movement of raw material to the mills. Abundant water for processing raw jute, cheap labor from West Bengal and adjoining states, means West Bengal, the boundary is connected to Bihar, Odisha and Uttar Pradesh. Kolkata as a large urban center provides banking, insurance and port facilities for export of jute goods. In the year 2010-11, the jute industry was supporting 3.7 lakh workers directly and another 40 lakhs small and marginal farmers who were engaged in cultivation of jute and mustard. In the year 2011, the jute industry was supporting near about 3.7 lakh workers directly and another 40 lakhs small and marginal farmers who are engaged in cultivation of jute and mustard. Many more people were associated indirectly. Challenges faced by the industry include stiff competition. Here also stiff competition is there in the international market from synthetic substitutes and from other competitors like Bangladesh, Brazil and Philippines, Egypt and Thailand. However, the international demand has been on the increase due to the government policy of mandatory use of jute packaging. Here, the internal demand has been on increase due to the government policy are there, and that is our mandatory use of jute packaging. To stimulate demand, the products need to be diversified. In 2005, National Jute Policy was formulated with the objective of increasing productivity, improving quality, ensuring good prices for to the jute farmers and enhancing the yield per hectare. Means in 2005, government apply some policies for formulated with the objective of increasing productivity, improving quality, ensuring good prices to the jute farmers and enhancing the yield per hectare. The main markets are USA, Canada, Ghana, Saudi Arabia, UK and Australia. USA means United States of America, UK means United Kingdom. The growing global concerns for environmental friendly biodegradable materials has once again opened the opportunity for jute products. Global growing global concern for environment friendly and biodegradable materials has once again opened opportunity for jute product. Next part we will see in our next video. If you have any queries, any doubt, you please ask your doubt and queries. Thank you.